For those of you who don't know Dr. Colin Mendelsohn and the work that he does, Colin is a retired medical practitioner, having specialized in smoking and tobacco harm reduction for over 40 years. He's worked as a clinician, helping smokers quit, teaching health professionals about smoking and vaping, writing articles, research and advocacy for nicotine alternatives to smoking, in particular vaping. He's the founding chairman of the Australian Tobacco Harm Reduction Association, a health promotion charity established to raise awareness of reduced risk alternatives to smoking, such as vaping, for smokers who cannot quit. He's also a member of the committee that develops the Australian National Smoking Cessation Guidelines. Some of his publications are available on his website, which is www.colinmendelsohn.com.au/publications. And Colin's book, which you can see in the background there, is on vaping nicotine to quit smoking. And it's called Stop Smoking, Start Vaping, and is also available at Colin's website. My name is Robert Sidebottom. I'm the managing director of Arcus Compliance. I'm also additionally leading up a group of forward-thinking vape businesses in the UK called the Vape Protection Alliance. And we've started to raise money and funds for legal action to pressure the government really to get round the table and discuss with us sensible regulations and sensible ways of managing these life-saving products, the life-saving product that is vape, really. Without more ado, then, Colin, what I'll do is I'll dive in. And what do you think about this argument that's been muted about this gateway to smoking argument? What's your feelings on that? I can see a wry smile coming on your face as I mentioned that.
Yes, look, I've written some papers on that, and I've looked at the research very carefully. And look, there will be the odd case of the odd young person who may not have smoked, who tries vaping and becomes a smoker. But what we're seeing in the real world is, in fact, mostly the opposite to that. So mostly we're seeing vaping is diverting young people away from smoking. So as vaping rates go up, smoking rates go down. There's a clear connection. And you know, they say often that kids who vape are more likely to smoke, but that is not a causal association. So that's just kids who try one thing are also more prone to trying the other. Yeah. And in fact, we're seeing the opposite effect to a gateway. In fact, we're seeing vaping as a gateway out of smoking. Yeah. And it's a very cynical maneuver used by people who are anti-vaping, who I think are increasingly becoming more and more desperate. You know, they haven't got the facts in their favour, and they won't debate the arguments with us. And seriously, they have very little to support their case, and they use arguments that really don't add up.
Yeah, can I ask you one other thing as well? That you know, Rishi Sunak has said that they're going to look at things like plainer packaging, but more worrying for us as an industry is restricting flavours. Yeah. And I'm just interested to know what your views are on the importance or not importance of flavors. How do you view flavors with regards to vaping products and their importance?
Yeah, look, I think flavors are very important. We know they're an integral part of vaping, so they're part of the appeal of vaping. And the whole purpose of this is to make vaping more attractive, to encourage smokers to make the switch. And adult smokers like the same flavors as youth. So, you know, you can't cut out youth flavors. You can cut out some of the stranger sounding youth appealing names and colors and images and so on. But and you can make flavors simple, just call them blueberry or mango instead of more complex names. And you need to cut out flavors that are known to cause harm. And we do that if we find something causes harm over time. And we don't know everything about flavors, and there are some flavors that may cause harm, but you've got to weigh that against the harm caused by cigarettes. And yeah, up to 2 in 3 people are going to die if they continue. And while there may be some risk, we need to allow flavors to encourage people to make the switch. And there is research to show that flavors are associated with increased quit rates, and they're associated with reduced relapse rates. And why shouldn't people enjoy flavors? I mean, there is a bit of this puritanical pleasure police problem that we face. People aren't allowed to enjoy vaping. Well, why not? We want them to enjoy it, and we want them to do it if they were smokers. And I think we need to encourage it.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. And my last question to you is, if the UK wanted to learn some lessons from Australia, then what's the top few lessons? If you were an advisor, for example, to Rishi Sunak, and he said, look, come on, Doc, tell me exactly, what do you think I should do? What would your advice to him be?
Well, I would say banning vaping is the worst possible solution. And that's just not based on Australia's experience. It's based on banning of anything anywhere. If people want something enough, they will find a way of getting it. And when you ban something, it doesn't go away. You just transfer control to criminal gangs. You get unregulated products. You lose the tax that you would be otherwise receiving. You destroy your legitimate industry. You make these products available to young people. There are no restrictions on ages of sale or on the quality of products. A ban is the worst possible solution. I think there are changes they could make in the UK. There are some minor issues. They could certainly look at some of the flavours. They need to have flavours, but they perhaps cut out some of the more child-appealing flavours. They could increase their nicotine content in the vapes, I think. There certainly is room for a stricter age enforcement. But I think, vapes are a life-saving alternative to smoking. We really have to keep them in perspective as for what they are and what they potentially are to public health. And I think the small issues that we're talking about that attract a political response, it's not a good public health policy response. It may achieve some political gain in the short term, but what we're more concerned about is public health.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Dr. Mendelsohn. I've really appreciated it. It's been a great conversation, and I look forward to reading more of your advocacy and articles in the future. And I hope you have a great day.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Robert, and good luck. Good luck with the campaign.
Cheers. Thank you very much.